A great quote that was often stated over the intercom when I was in junior high school is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Little did they realize that decades later, there would be all kinds of planners out there in the world and various accoutrements that we could use to pretty them up. I'm doing my spread for this week, Valentine's week. Yes, I know that the world just observes a day. Quite frankly, I observe Valentine's Day an entire week. And even more frankly, I do it all month. Why? Well, I was born in January, and I figured if I could stop just devoting one day to recognize, honor, and celebrate that I was born, then I can honor love for more than one day. Quite frankly, love is something I try to practice every single day of my life. I don't do it perfectly, and I don't proclaim to do it well, but I do it. One of the things I'm so excited about this year is the fact that even though I'm uncoupled, that I'm enjoying life more. I am doing whatever I want to do, choosing whatever I want to choose, whether it's decorating this planner, wearing what I want to wear, doing whatever I want to do with my hair, makeup, making some definitive choices for my future. I'm just realizing that we only have one life, and that life is brief. So do what I want to do. I have nobody to answer to but Jesus. So I mean, if I want to put washi tape on a page crookedly, that's what I do. I'm just so thankful that I've come to this point in my life, because I was not always here. I kept trying to people please like many of us do. I kept trying to live up to the expectations of others and created this whole persona that just wasn't even really me. And I think it's taken a lot of time to dissect that, figure out what's real about the world and yourself, frankly. But to figure out what's real for me and to just live in my truth and to have no problems with living in my truth. And come what may, it is what it is. People either accept it or it's just not intended for me to be around whoever it is that's not accepting me. We're in such volatile times now until, I don't know, I just look around and I see rights being rolled back, things changing, all sorts of stuff going on. But sometimes you need just a cozy little place to map out your thoughts, put down your hopes and your dreams on a piece of paper. And that's what the planner is for me. It's not just a place to decorate, but it's a place for me to unwind. And just decorating it and then writing in it allows me to unwind a little bit. I have all kinds of tricks for motivating myself, spreading the love with others by just putting down what my action plan is and doing it week by week. Helps me a lot because it helps me to narrow down steps that I can take to achieve what some people would call goals. So that's what I do. And I don't know, during the pandemic, I was like, God, what can I do? And to me, the pandemic's not over. It's just, we came to a point in which we couldn't just keep panicking over it. We've realized this is the new normal, and taking care of ourselves is paramount. We have to protect others, all of that thing. So, in thinking in those terms, I just think, what do I want my life to look like? If I live another 10, 20, 30 years, what do I want to do? What kind of seasoned person do I want to become? Do I want to become a seasoned person that's a bit extra? Do I want to become a seasoned person that's just laid back, gets a bunch of cats, winds up on the sick and shut-in list, and people just forget who she is? I want to fall in the middle. I want to be bold. I want to be daring. I want to live a life that I can be pleased with and proud of. I want to live a life that inspires others. And I want to be able to use some of that wisdom that I've learned over the years, that I've acquired, in order to help others to begin to see the light. I think that what happens is people tell you different things for a long time, and initially you don't see it. But then as you live your life, as you have different growth experiences, you start to understand with your heart rather than understand with your mind just how things really are and how the world really works. And once you're able to do that, you're able to help yourself some. So here's what I mean. We've been watching a show called Arranged that was filmed, I think, in 2015 and 2016. I had never heard of the show. We've been watching it on streaming, and it's been a real eye-opener for me. We've also been watching a show that so many people know about called 90 Day Fiancé, and we have been watching all the varieties. There's so many different varieties. I am not going to list them in this video, but in the past year we've been watching that. We have been watching Life After Lockup, Life Before Lockup, Seeking Sister Wife, or Seeking Sister Wives, something like that. And then also Seeking Brother Husband. We have been watching Sister Wives. That was the one family, excuse me, with Cody as the husband, and then you had the 4 wives, and we watched that thing grow from 3 wives. Well, I shouldn't say thing. We watched that marriage, that plural marriage, change from 3 wives and a husband to 4 wives and a husband, and then we've watched it dissolve all the way down to just a monogamous relationship, a monogamous marriage. And that's been a real eye-opener over the years to see how that's worked out. We've watched The Bachelorette and The Bachelor, The Golden Bachelor. We watched that. So we've been watching a lot of relationship shows, and I've personally been watching them because I've been single all my life, but I have been, I don't want to call it ridiculously single because I've grown a lot, but I guess I've been ultra single for years. And by ultra single, what I mean is there's no one on the horizon. There's nothing happening really. I've just been on this passion project to study myself and get myself in a position that I knew that I needed to be in, and I felt like that I was deserving to be in, but that I wasn't fully in. And watching all of these shows from the perspective of a single person has really been kind of like going to school. it really has been, I feel like that I definitely could give it a go in sexology if I really wanted to. And I am interested in that. Um, but I'm not quite sure how I want to approach it. I have been doing a lot of art around that I don't show on YouTube because I feel like I can't. I don't want my channel to disappear because of it. I do writings regarding it. And I'm fascinated by sexuality and the spectrum, gender, identity, relationships in general, but particularly love relationships. And by love relationships, I mean love between two or more adult partners. I'm very interested in how it all works, because how we were traditionally told that it works is not exactly how it works. What I mean by that is not every adult is going to be a certain way, is going to be cisgender and heteroromantic, heterosexual. Not all of them are that way. Not all adults are going to get to have even a full romantic life. I mean, they're incels and femcells. Not everybody is going to get to have the kind of pleasure in their lives that they're seeking. And it's so weird that Western society in particular basically has this idea that you age out of wanting any of that. It's ridiculous. It's preposterous. And there needs to be more in the media regarding seasoned people having love in their lives. And I'm appreciating the fact that you have The Golden Bachelor, for instance, that we just watched and that ended in marriage. You have on 90 Day Fiance, you have two different Debbies that are seasoned. You have the one Debbie that's with her man in Canada, and then you have Miss Debbie on there. There are quite a few people on 90 Day that are like 40 years old and over, 50s and over. I think that you have a desire for companionship, love and intimacy all the days of your life, whether you live to be only 20 or you live to be over 100. I just get the feeling that that's truly how it is. Now, there are some things that might kind of change for you, what a person can do physically as far as an intimate life is concerned changes over time. You might have to slow some things down and change some things up, but we all want that. We all want to be loved, and we all actually want to be loved. It's not just, oh, let me have this physical good time with you and then walk away, which a lot of our society does too. But at the end of the day, it's everybody has needs and desires, and all of that is being shared on television. All of that is being shared more openly in social media. But then at the same time, you have some people falling victim to some things too, like with all these romance scams, and that's a scary thing. Once you pass a certain bar as far as age is concerned, it's like you're an immediate target for that people are just trying to bait you in real life too, not just on the internet. And that's concerning too, and we've been watching a lot about that. So I'm thinking about all this as I'm doing this planner, and I just want the positivity to come to me. Earlier I said that there's nobody on the horizon, that's how single I am. I'm going to change that statement. I don't know who's on the horizon. They're not active in my life right now. And why they're not active in my life right now, I think the reason for that is I'm enjoying myself growing, and I don't really want to date anymore either. I want to do something that I heard Kim Anami say, and that is, she said that when she's in a really good state within herself, that she naturally attracts who she needs to come into her life. So that's really what I'm doing. I'm enjoying myself, loving myself, honoring, appreciating myself, and more importantly for me, loving, honoring, celebrating God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, so that the appropriate person for me shows up in my life. Now, I'm not just a Pollyanna pie in the sky type person, I know there's certain things I need to do on my end to strengthen the probability of that, to be more magnetic, if you will. So I'm doing some of that, the hair, the makeup, the keeping up my health, working on my finances, and not just what I see as a bank balance per se, but working on what money actually is and understanding that there is financial dysmorphia. So if you're dysmorphic in one area, chances are, as I discovered about myself last year, you're dysmorphic in several areas, if not all areas of your life. So for me, I like to kind of do a little bit, and I think Kim Anami said this the other day too when I was listening to her. You want to do a little bit of a cleanup so that you attract what you're looking for. You're going to always be a vibrational match for what you are. So if you're a hot mess, guess what? Every person you attract is going to be a hot mess until you clean up your hot mess. So I just want to state something too. So if I do this in the order I think I'm going to, this will be my first video of 2024, even before my Valentine's Day blog. I'm so used to writing. Vlog. Because once again, and I talked about this in a video last year, I had this anxious and depressive episode a little bit earlier than I did coming into 2023. So 2023, for a good month to 2 months, I was extremely depressed and quite anxious. And then this year, late December, it happened again. I'm like, what is happening? Is it the pause? Menopause, I'm sure, plays into it, but I figured out what's going on. Because I am a January person, I'm immediately hit with it's a new year and I'm about to get a year older, because my birthday is like right there. It's like right around the corner almost. And I thought about all the things that I thought I would have accomplished by this age. And I'm like, I need to stop doing that. And the minute I checked myself regarding that, I didn't feel depressed or anxious anymore. I was like, I'm where I am for a reason, and I need to honor that. I need to celebrate it. I need to understand it, be grateful for who I am and whose I am in anything that I have. Stop worrying and obsessing about what you don't have and who you think you are not. So that helped me greatly. And since it helped me, who knows, it might help somebody else. So I thought I would share it. But yeah, I figured out mid to late last year that, oh, wait, there's money dysmorphia? There's career dysmorphia? What? So I'm like, oh, and reading all of this, I'm not just body dysmorphic, which I was diagnosed with that a long time ago, but I'm also career dysmorphic and money dysmorphic. Is there any kind of professional help for that? I haven't found anybody. I have found some books. If you kind of type in financial dysmorphia, but I'm like, this explains so much. This is allowing me to level up a little bit because it's allowing me to understand some of why I do what I do. So I found different books that allowed me to kind of grow in those areas. I'm just going to say one author's name, Geneen Roth, GENEEN ROTH. Read her books if you have any issues at all around food and money. She writes one book that's called, or she wrote one book that's called, I think it's Women, Food, Women, or no. I gotta get the title right now. Money, Food, and God, I think is what it is. Anyway, I thank you for watching this, listening to me talk. I really appreciate it.